Hey guys, it's Dave again. Welcome back again, Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. So we're back again, doing some different things here with the lighting, trying to better improve some of the lighting for the shelves for some of my displays here, some of my collectibles, trying to improve the Fortress of Geekitude as best as we possibly can. So today I decided to try and do a little bit of a toy hunt. A lot of collectors, you see their videos. One of them, one guy just started following called Sleeping Collectibles. Awesome interactive stream of his the other day. He does some really nice videos. You know, he's keeping it real. He's up and coming YouTuber, and you know, trying to take a few cues from him and a few others. You know, to try and better improve this channel. And no, I'm not trying to be the next big empire. I'm just, like you guys have heard me say in previous videos, just trying to pass along some information while showing off some very cool items along the way. So, went around to a bunch of different places today. I was actually on the hunt for the Walmart exclusive Ghost Popper, which is an old Kenner release from back in the 80s. Kind of a Nerf gun for ghost busting. I do have one on pre-order, which is actually not for me, but for my wife. And I know that they were recently released locally in the area. Went around to a couple different Walmarts. No dice. None to be found. I'm pretty sure they were scooped up right away. And from what I've heard from other sources, most stores have only been getting like 2 of them a piece. So there was that. And of course, I mean, as of this taping, this recording, it's only the 9th of January, so a lot of your stores are going to be depleted as far as collectibles and whatnot. So, honestly, I went around to a couple Targets, even a couple GameStops. Really no luck with anything, hardly. I mean, there's not a lot of clearance stuff, and if there is clearance, it's kind of pick through items, kind of beat up, nothing that you would want as a display. A lot of things, I mean, hardly anything in the stores, both Target and Walmart. I know Target has a bunch of cool stuff coming out right now. The Ghostbusters Afterlife Ectotron, I actually don't have it here, but I have it coming through. One of my teammates was kind enough to scoop one up for me when he was at Target and came across them, so there's that. Today we have something I did not score at a regular store. Now, I'm in Niagara Falls, well, we call it Grand Island, but it's right between Buffalo, New York, and Niagara Falls. As you can see, I'm rocking the Buffalo Bills today. We had a kind of a nail-biting, heart-wrenching win today versus the Indianapolis Colts. But hey, you know, a win is a win. No matter how ugly it is, it's a win. So I'm rocking my colors today, guys. So I went around to Niagara Falls. Me and the wife did some videos, some sightseeing, and she's getting into some photography where the crystal globe, and it basically flips your image and you're taking pictures of it. I guess it's a fad. It's something that's going on, so we did that. While we were up there, we went to Lewiston, New York, which is kind of like a suburb of Niagara Falls, if you will. Up in Lewiston, there's a section where these nice little, kind of quaint little shops, sweets, bakeries. There's a nice little collectible spot right up there called Viva Nostalgia, I think it's called. We went there. That's where I got my around my birthday time. She had got me a Green Ranger car, a die-cast car. So that's where I got that originally. So today we went up there, my first time going there, and we scored the Back to the Future 3 Delorean. Now this is made by the company Jada Toys. That's Jada Toys. Actually, this is Jada Toys and Hollywood Rides, as you can see right there. Now this is Back to the Future 3 Delorean. This is, if you're familiar with the series, this is when, at the end of part 2, Marty is stuck in the past. He gets a letter from Doc from 1885. He finds Doc of 1955, and they uncovered the DeLorean in the old abandoned El Delgado mines. And they basically take the DeLorean out, fix it up, put some 1950s tires on it, And this one actually lights up. I mean, I could leave this in the box, but you guys know me. I am not an in-box collector. I will be cracking this bad boy open. Now, honestly, from the trilogy, the first car is fantastic. Second one with the hover mode, yeah, that's cool. But honestly, I've always been partial to Part 3. Part 3 is actually I have to honestly say, it is my favorite out of the trilogy. Because you get the role reversal between Marty and Doc. Marty is the, straight head and the shoulders for the most part. And Doc is the love-struck guy who really doesn't, he's very unsure about everything and everything's new to him. So, we're going to jump right on into this, guys. Now, what I like about this is it looks pretty clean. The only things that I notice that might be a negative on a few things is on the hood, and you'll see this once I take it out of the plastic, that box on the hood, that is basically, those are repairs to the time circuits. Well, we have one little pipe or cabling that comes out, which is supposed to go basically underneath into the hood and into the inside of the car. It just kind of hangs out like it goes nowhere. I mean, that's nothing. That's not really something to be too much of a stickler about, but there are some people who are Nazis when it comes to details. So now I got this guy from Viva Nostalgia Collectibles for about it was like $27.95 plus tax, so around $31. Not bad. The guy even said that he's been having a harder and harder enough time trying to keep everything in stock. So apparently, when it comes to the Back to the Future cars, apparently they are a very hot commodity right now, guys. So if you're having trouble getting one of these, that explains why. Looks like I'm going to be using bat knife quite a bit right now. There we go. There we go. So we're sliding this right on out, guys. Or at least trying to. There we go. There we go. Now what's nice is, I mean, you can keep this in a box because it's got a nice little background here. You see the desert in the background. So that's a nice little landscape right there. But I am trying to get this out of the box. Come on. Get out. Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to be vicious with this box. Jesus. Mother. Okay, yep. I'm going to have to go medieval on this. Because they had the other end was taped to the box itself. There we go. So, right up close. Now, on a lot of the Hollywood rides and also the Jada, they like to put these little stands on here that basically you're going to have to take a screwdriver and remove it. Same thing for the Dragon Zord Green Ranger car I had. Same will be said about this one. Now, like I said, there's a nice little landscape here, so if you want to keep yours, I would probably recommend keeping it in the box. If that's your deal, that's not my deal. I like to keep things out of the box. Back of the DeLorean looks pretty good right there. Nice little detail. No imprints where it says DeLorean on the back, but I'm sure that's more of a copyright issue. Top view. It's not bad. I mean, it could be a little bit better, a little bit more screen accurate, but we're not going to dock any points for that. And really, you really didn't see much of an overhead view of the DeLorean in Part 3 as it is, so that's not an issue. Yes, I already had a Phillips screwdriver right here, guys, ready to be used. Gotta be prepared for any and all probable possibilities. Line from Back to the Future 2, guys. So, while I am doing this, now I really like the lights here. Normally I have the regular lights in this room on, and there's no lights over here. It's nice that these lights are kind of illuminating the bulk of the room. I do have a little bit of a spotlight that I took some 3M strips and put onto the wall, so it aims in this direction. It gives a nice little over effect. Now, at some point, maybe I will switch over to some kind of a LED, maybe something I can run along the walls up there. But right now, I am just doing, those are basically puck lights that I got on Amazon, and they work on these little remotes right here. Just to show you guys, literally, I can just hit off, 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 off. There we go. On, on, and there we go. Nice and simple, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So, now that we have the stand off, they usually have a little plastic sleeve that kind of holds the doors locked and closed. I just removed that, and here we are. The DeLorean, Back to the Future 3 in all her glory. Now, a few odd things, like this part right here. This is not something that we normally saw in the movie. There is a screw, so I could remove it, but through the movies, the first two, we didn't have anything like this underneath, but you can notice it in Back to the Future 3. Now, this is very similar to, I forgot what the actual mechanism is called, but something like this was also featured in Knight Rider on KITT. I think they used it for certain special effects, certain stunts, where it was being pulled or it was being harnessed in some shape or form. Like I said, there is a screw on here, so I could remove that if I decide to. I might not. I think I'll leave it on there for right now. Maybe at a later date and time. Now, door hinges are not loose, but they're not too tough. Now, one little misgiving on here, or a little negativeness, is you can see the inside is kind of shaded and unpolished. That's a quick fix. Some gunmetal gray, a little dry brushing over it. You'll cover on both sides, and that'll take care of that. Now, the black line on the car is very pronounced. It wasn't as pronounced in the movie, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. I mean, this is basically a $30 die-cast replica of a car. I am glad that they got the right color here on the components that go right there, and the red ones on the other side. So they did keep that. I've seen different variances where these red cylinders or batteries or whatever you want to call them have been blue instead, but they got the right color this time. The lights is very nice and solid. It doesn't blink or flicker like some, because like with the DeLorean Playmobil, you'll get it where it stays solid and then it starts flickering and then it's oscillating around the car and then stops. So now Mr. Fusion, they did a good job with Mr. Fusion. I mean, I've seen some die casts where this pops right off, or maybe it's a little too high or too low, or it's cracked off. But for the most part, they did a very good job on this. Now, the wheels do roll nice and steady, nice and easy. It is a hard plastic. Now, there is a battery compartment under here. You can see right there. So you remove the screw, and let's do that right now so you guys can see the type of batteries that this comes with. Now, obviously, by the shape of this compartment, it is not going to be like your AAAs, AA's is going to be something much smaller. I'm actually thinking this is probably going to be more like a, I guess what some people might call a pen light battery, and yes, they are. Now, ironically, they have this designed very much like the flux capacitor. So, 10 points for that. I love that. So, Now what I will do is I will throw a link in the description below for the type of batteries these are, and also where you can get these, because I will do some quick Amazon research to find a link where I can get these batteries from, and I will throw that in the description below. Now, as far as this goes, I mean, yes, you can take the DeLorean apart. There are screws here and here. So, I mean, there's really no need to do that. Now, the interior, you can see a spot where the flux capacitor is. It is unpainted. It is solid gray in there. That's a little bit of a disappointment, especially since they threw decals on the dashboard. And also, well, no decals here, where it would show the gauges, like how much power is in the plutonium chamber, even though he doesn't use plutonium anymore. And there are some decals for the time circuits, for the time circuit display console. So there's decal there. They threw some paint on here. They went with die-cast, or no, this is a painted plastic, but they went that far, but they couldn't put something, even a decal, to just place over the flux capacitor. I mean, that would have been a nice detail. I mean, they even put the right license plate on here. So, I mean, there was that much. I mean, they did some pretty good details here. Now, as far as the tires, I'm actually tempted to do some dry brushing with some brown ember to give it kind of a dirtied up, rustic look. Because after all, you know, Marty was driving the car right into the desert. So, I mean, there is that. But all in all, and also, if you notice, there's no DMC on the front of it. Obviously, for copyright reasons. Now, those who saw my video about Gigabyte, or I think, no, Gigawatt, the DeLorean transformer, same thing on him, because obviously the DeLorean Motor Company, that is its own copyright onto itself, so there's nothing there. But all in all, I mean, this is pretty nice. I've been wanting a good sized DeLorean. I mean, yeah, I already have a few DeLoreans out there. I have the Sunstar one from, God, maybe 8 years ago, but it's taken some hits. It's got some damage to it, so I would like to replace that one. And then I have the NECA DeLorean, which I did an unbox video on. I mean, for the price, it was good. It was a good deal. Could have been better, yes. And if you want more details on that, you can check our video description, our channel, and pull up that video and check it out yourself so you can see my details and my initial reactions on that. So I won't go into detail here. And I also have the Playmobil DeLorean right there at the bottom. So there's that. But all in all, this is a very nice likeness. At some point, I would like to get a replacement Sunstar, unless some other company comes up with a really good die cast, maybe a 1/18 scale, or bigger version of the DeLorean. I'm not going to do the Eagle Moss one, because one, you got to go that little subscription service, and I don't want to take a year and a half to build the DeLorean. And plus, I also know that it's ass expensive, and that's just, just not in my budget, to be perfectly honest, guys. I'm going to throw this out. But all in all, this is sharp. Switch works automatically. Nice little glow effect. Even if you do some stop motion stuff, this is some pretty good effects. You know, they definitely, for the price, you can't go wrong on this. The door hinge is not too tight. It's not too loose, because that's the problem with a lot of these. The hinges, the doors just collapse right down. It would be great if this opened up, but that's perfectly fine. But all in all, it's a pretty good job. Some of this is a little too gray, some of the components. But, you could tape this up and do some painting yourselves, make it a little bit more rustic, make it look a little bit more worn. That's definitely something you can do on here. But all in all, they did some really good detail, especially on Mr. Fusion there. You can see that. They really did some good detail right there. So, this definitely is worth it. I would almost be tempted to... maybe I will jump on the other Hollywood ones if I can get them. They only have part 2 and they only have part 3. They did not actually do a part 1. which I find a little odd, but I mean, I can kind of get that the market itself has been a bit saturated. But there we are. Hollywood Rides Back to the Future 3 DeLorean with light up. If you had the chance to come across this, I highly recommend you jump on it, especially if you're a Back to the Future fan, or even if you're not, if you're just a car guy, you know, it's definitely something cool to jump on. Now, what I like is the big difference between the Jada toys and the Hollywood Rides is a lot of the Jada toys do not have the mirrors, and they do here. And they even threw a little like reflective decal on them, so they look like actual mirrors, which is kind of nice. And these are actually a soft rubbery plastic. It's not a hard plastic, it's just a little soft plastic, and you can kind of see from the inside it's almost like it was molded in a little bit, I guess you could I don't know if you really can see that right there. It looks like a soft plastic, and then this is really holding it on there. So there's that. No glass in the window here, so there is that. I guess it makes it easier to open up your doors, you know. So there's that. But yes, I really like this, and I'm a big Back to the Future fan, so this was, I mean, it was a no-brainer. I was looking at some other stuff. They had the Red Ranger car. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Power Rangers, as you guys can see. But Green Ranger is my go-to. That's always going to be my favorite. It is what it is. So, there we are. We have some more videos coming up soon. I'm supposed to be getting my hands on a copy of the NECA, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Part 2, Secret of the Ooze, two-pack of Toka and Razor. So I'm going to be doing an unbox video of that. And I'm debating about the Afterlife Ectotron, if I'm going to break him open or if I'm going to keep him in the box. Now, you guys know me. Usually I am an out-of-box collector, but there are some items I keep in box. Okay? Now, you guys probably can't see it here, but right behind the packs on the other side, behind these packs, I actually have a Mattel Egon, courtroom scene Egon, still in his box. Still in his packaging. Not opened. For the most part, there are some things I will not open, like over there, all the way at the top. You can see I have a Monopoly Ghostbusters. That's not the more recent one. That's the original one, and that's still in its plastic. Outside of that, there's very few things that I don't open up. So we got some, of course, with the lights now. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. You guys can kind of see I have my little Ghostbuster patch collection, which I'm going to have to get a new frame once I get some more patches. And some little various Ghostbuster posters. Of course, I have the celebrity license plates, celebrity machines, Ecto 1 worn license plate. I got the pristine Ecto 1, and then, of course, Ecto 1 and 1A from Ghostbusters 2. Some assorted artworks. The local franchise I'm part of, that's actually a photo of them posing in front of the transit drive-in. So, I mean, I'm not in that picture, but, you know, you got to have some love for your team, and I got it right up there, along with a lot of different art pieces that I've gotten from TeePublic and a few other sites. And so, I mean, you know, I'm just trying to improve how everything looks. Put a little bit better lighting in here. Tell me what you guys think. Do you approve? Do you have some suggestions on what I could use instead of these lights up here? I'm just using rechargeable batteries for these LEDs, so we'll see how that works out, if I'll come across something better. I am looking to possibly get something for right above the main shelf there, where you can see the books are a little dark. I want to throw some light, shed some light on the subject, as it were. I might get about maybe 2 or 3 more of those pucks and put them right over there. I would really love to do something that I can kind of illuminate there, but we'll see what happens. So, if you guys have some thoughts, some suggestions on what I can do to help improve things, when it comes to the videos, when it comes to my displays, you have a suggestion of something you think I might want to do an unboxing of, I am open to anything and everything, guys. So, as always, you can hit me up in the comments section below. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Like the video. subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Smash that bell for notifications. And until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying I'll keep on busting, and I'll catch you on the flip side.